Hi class, today we're going to talk about nutrition product food labels. But before we begin the lesson, do you recall from yesterday's lesson what nutrients help us do and why we need them? Rita?
Nutrients are like vitamins.
You guys.
All right, excellent, okay. Anybody else? Liam?
They give you energy.
That's true. They help us do what we have to do, and they keep us healthy. Okay? Some minerals and some nutrients are great for you, but there are others that we need to be careful of not consuming too much, which are your solid fats, your sodium, as well as sugar. Okay? So what are we going to learn today? Well, today we're going to learn the difference between a portion. What is a portion and what is a serving? We're going to look at the percent of daily value, which serves as a guide as to how much of these nutrients we're getting. And we're going to be able to identify, well, what's the number as well as what's the ideal range of what we should be eating. Be able to calculate the number of calories from fat that is found in our food. And then make better food selections based on the actual product food label that we could find in all the packagings of the food we eat. But before we continue, I want you to go back to the table and back where you see the different cereal bowls, and pour yourself, as if you're going to eat breakfast. Just imagine you're going to eat breakfast and pour yourself the amount of cereal you would have first thing in the morning. So take some time to do that, and once you pour the cereal in a plate, pour that amount of cereal back into the measuring cup. And then I'm going to ask you how much of the cereal you poured. Okay, take your time. Okay, are we done?
Yes.
Okay. How many cups of cereal did you pour?
I poured 2 cups of Raisin Bran.
Liam?
I poured 3 cups of Fruity Cheerios.
Okay, and Rita?
I poured 1.5 cups.
All right, great. So Kayla, can you read what the serving size is for your Raisin Bran?
The serving size for Raisin Bran is 1 cup.
1 cup. How about yours, Liam?
The serving size for Fruity Cheerios is 3/4 of a cup.
And Rita, you also had the Raisin Bran?
I had the Raisin Bran, so I kind of had the same amount as the box
Kind of,
says.
but you exceeded.
You went
yours.
over by half.
You went over, but you had 2 of the Raisin Bran, and Liam had 3 of the Cheerios. Correct? Okay. Well, let's take a look at this. So a portion is defined as the amount of food that you actually placed in your bowl. So Liam, the actual 3 cups of what you served yourself, that is the portion. The actual serving size would have been the 3/4 cups that is stated in the product food label. So Kayla, again, to reiterate what I just said to Liam, based on what you ate, you served yourself, the portion was
1.
2 cups.
No, what I served myself was 2 cups.
It's 2 cups. That's the portion. The serving size of the Raisin Bran is 1 cup.
Oh.
So in reality, you already had 2 servings. But the portion was 2 of what you served yourself. And this is called portion. What you just did with the amount of food that you poured in the cereal bowl is called portion distortion when you think about it. So if you go to a restaurant and you order some cheeseburger and fries, right? This is what you're getting. You're getting, look at this picture. You have a whole patty, cheeseburger, right? Patty. Look at this load of French fries over here. And even the ketchup is exaggerated. Now look at what an actual serving would look like. It's half of the hamburger, a portion of the fries, even the ketchup is a lot less, and 1 less pickle. And forget the bun. The bun is not even, shouldn't even be there. So percent of daily value. What can this help us do? Well, it serves as a guide to the amount of food that is actually in the product that we're eating, in the health choice of the food we selected. Okay, so if you look at the percent daily value, and if it states 5% or less, it means that there's a considered low amount. It's considered low for that nutrient. If you see the percent daily values between 10 and 19 for a nutrient, it's considered good for that nutrient. And anything over 20% or greater for that nutrient is considered high. Okay? So healthier choices have a lower percent daily value when it comes to total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. And a higher percent daily value is ideal when it comes to total carbs, dietary fiber, any vitamins, as well as any mineral. The higher the number, the better. Does anybody recall or can give me an example of a saturated fat? Rita?
Butter.
Very good. And what other foods can you think of off the top of your head? Do we load, like in the theater, we go to the movies, we order popcorn, and what do people add a lot of?
Salt.
Salt.
Extra butter.
And extra butter. So we don't need any of that in our diets. Okay? Calories. Where do we get calories from?
Food.
The foods we eat.
Food we eat. Well, particularly with regards to the food. Well, the proteins, right? The fats, the carbohydrates. And fats have more calories than carbs. And think about it. The fats that we eat have more calories than the carbs and proteins put together. So to stay healthy, you should try not to eat more than 35%. Think of that as your magic number. 35% of calories from fat. So we should try to always be lower than that 35% of calories from fat. Later on, we're going to talk about how can we calculate the calories from fat in the foods we eat. And all that information is contained in the product food label. And all products have that label in the back. Any questions? No? Okay, let's continue. So calories provide energy. So based on the servings of food that we eat, okay? However, as a society, we eat too much calories. We consume too much food and too much calorie, and what ends up happening is we eat more than what we actually use, okay? So we create an imbalance. So the perfect thing or idea is to have a complete balance of how much you eat based on the activity. As a society as a whole, we should be running all the time because based on that portion distortion, we're eating way too much food. That's what's leading to all this obesity that we have out there. So how do you calculate the percent of fat calories? Very easy, okay? You take the calories from fat, okay, from the total calories. So you take your total calories, okay, and you divide that. So let's take the example of the Raisin Bran, okay? Based on the box of Raisin Bran cereal, the serving of 1 cup provides 190 calories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we take up the calories from fat that is listed is a 10. So we divide the 10 from the 190, and then we multiply it by 100, we get a 5.3% calories from fat. This number, if we recall the magic number of 35%, 5.3% is a lot lower than the 35. So the Raisin Bran is not bad. It's a good source of cereal compared to other products that are out there. So that would be a great selection. Does everybody understand how we did this? Okay, great. So in in Kayla's example, where she had the 2 cups of Raisin Bran, look how the portion distortion comes into play. By not having a serving, this number goes up to twice as much. You would have eaten 10.6% of your calories came from fat. 10.6%. But I bet we all feel different of how much food we are actually eating when we do this calculation. and we see how much fat we're getting into our system, right?
That's true.
So do we know that we get added sugar in our products, and we could find all that information in the product food label? And other names that sugar go by is high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, dextrose, fructose, lactose, maltose, honey, anhydrous, dextrose, brown sugar, confectioner's powdered sugar, and corn syrup. And who knows what else is out there? So the main thing to keep in mind, this number should also be lower. We would benefit from lower amounts of sugar in our diets, because it leads to all these issues over here later on in life, with tooth decay, dizziness, and obesity adding to that. Okay? So keep in mind that if the first 3 ingredients you read is one of these guys up here, you can be sure that it has added sugar. So don't be fooled. That's why it's important to read your product food labels. Now this interesting little product food label, it's very helpful because it's a great guide to show you how you can make better food selections. So if you look up here, here's your serving size, which is 1 cup. And this packaging has 2 servings in it. Okay? The total calories per serving is 250, and the calories from fat is 110. So if we did that small calculation again to see how much of the calories is from fat, you would take that 110, you divide by 250, and you multiply it by 100. In this example, whatever this packaging is, the total amount of fat is 44%. So you're getting 44% of your calories in this item is fat. If you eat, it is very high, Rita. And if you eat this entire package of whatever this product is, you're eating over almost 88% of your calories is coming from fat. Is this an ideal product just by hearing that? And the answer is no.
No, it's like 2 or 3 days worth of fat.
Correct. And how long will it take you to burn up all these extra calories?
Well, it depends, because if you exercise, you can...
Correct, and that's why we need to keep it balanced by how much you consume and how much you're burning up in activities. Okay, this line over here, the mustard color that we see here, it shows that these are ideal. If you look over here, backtrack the percent daily value. This area here shows that we would benefit from it being less than 5% or less, because we don't need the extra total fat, or the saturated fat, or the cholesterol or the sodium. The lower this number is, the better. Okay? We want everything that's in green to be high. So anything between 10 to 19 or 20% or higher would be ideal for this group, because these are vitamins, and here are your calcium and your iron as well. Dietary fiber, the higher the number, the better. Obviously, this product doesn't have any fiber. Okay, and look at how low the vitamin is, with the exception of calcium. Okay. Any questions? So Kayla, do you feel confident being able to read product food labels and making better health choices?
I'm definitely only going to pour 1 bowl of Raisin Bran. 1
Very
cup
good.
of Raisin Bran,
Okay.
not bowl.
Unless you are going to you're going to run a marathon, maybe you will want to eat more, right?
Right.
So it all depends. You always got to take everything into consideration. You know, how much you're eating based on what you're going to be doing for the activity of the day. Okay? Okay, gang, so let's look at 4 different product labels. Okay? So which one, take a few minutes to look through it. Keep in mind your calories from fat, and look at the percent daily value. Okay? So take a few moments, look and review this, and let me know which one you feel are your healthier choices. Okay, Rita?
Apple slices, healthy.
Okay, what would make you say that?
Well, it's got 0 sodium in it, 0 total fat.
Okay. Alright. And Kayla? Which one do you feel is...
Aside from apple slices, the fat-free yogurt is better than the other two that are left.
Okay. How come? Can you give me a reason why?
It has 0 saturated fat
Mm-hmm.
and less calories.
Way too much sodium though.
That's true. That's a great point, Liam.
True, but whole milk yogurt has 5 grams of saturated
Oh, yes.
fat, which is 25% of the daily value. If you could read.
Okay, and what would you think, Liam?
Apple slices because it has the least amount of calories, and 0 of the calories there are from fat.
Right. Well, obviously there's, if we were to compare yogurt side by side, you're right. When we look at the fat-free plain yogurt, okay, there is the saturated fat is 0, and when you look at the vanilla yogurt, you have calories from fat is 70. And if we did that small calculation, Liam, you would see that 70 divided by 230, and you multiply by 100 will give us what?
43.
43.
43.
No, why don't you try doing that
1 second.
calculation again?
70 divided by 230 multiplied by
100,
30%.
30%. So is that less than what our calories from fat should be? You know
Yes.
the magic number, which is?
35%.
Very good. So, Rita, yes.
But should the 35% of fat be for the whole day or for just one serving?
It should be for the whole day.
Oh wow, then that's you're almost eating the whole day, Liam, with that.
That's why we really need to be careful how much fat we consume. Okay.
Mm.
So again, Liam, since you have your calculator out, can you calculate how much calories from fat we're getting from the French fries?
So it's 90
So it's
divided
90
by 210.
times 100.
43%.
Wow. There we
That's above 35%.
Very good. So obviously, out of all of these, which is the one that we would definitely X out from our diet?
The French fries.
Exactly. Because other than that, when you look at it, does it have any worthwhile nutrients that we can actually use in our bodies that would benefit us?
Vitamin C.
The vitamin C, 15%. But look at the sodium and look at the fat.
Yeah, way too much.
Way too much. When you look at the fat-free plain yogurt, the calcium, you're getting 50% calcium. And calcium, we need calcium for what, Kayla?
Our bones.
Our bones, that's right. And it has 14 grams of protein, but then the sodium is pretty, compared to the rest, is pretty high. Okay. Compared to, and then if we look at the vanilla yogurt, obviously the plain is a lot better. Okay. Rita, do you have a comment?
Yeah.
No, please feel free to share with the class.
Or
No, I was just like looking at the fat-free plain yogurt versus the whole yogurt, and I see that the sodium is lowered on the whole yogurt as opposed to the fat-free plain yogurt.
Because it's fat-free, they're adding more sodium to make sure the taste is similar to the other one.
Very good, Leon. Excellent. Excellent point. You're right. And Rita, that was a great observation on your behalf. And if just to make sure the rest of the class heard, based on what Liam says, they added extra sodium so that way it would enhance the flavor of the plain yogurt. And that's why the sodium content is a bit higher than you would find in the regular vanilla yogurt. Okay, class, you did very great today. Before we end, I just wanted to state that I'm going to give you an assignment. There's a sheet that I will give you that I will hand out to you. Please complete it. Select any healthy product that you, or snack that you normally eat at home, and populate that sheet, and then do explain why you feel it is a healthy alternative. And if it's not an ideal snack, then identify one that you can eat in place of that one. Okay?
So do we have to do the calculations?
Yes, you do. You have to do the calculations of the fat calculations,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it.
Should we also say if it under 5%, 4%, you know, those numbers that you told us at the beginning, should that be incorporated
Well,
into our?
it's all included in. You'll see it now when you get the sheet to do for homework. You will need to populate all those areas in.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and make sure you eat healthy.